All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on the scripture that speaks about, I thought it was in Ezekiel 28, I think it's Ezekiel 27. The scripture that speaks about how a sword is sharpened for the day of the Lord, and I was wrong about it being in 27 as well. Is it 26? 25? And why am I struggling to find that? Is it 21? Okay, it's 21. Ezekiel chapter 21 and verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. And the thing that made me do this lesson is that where I live, right, at my home, right, I have a knife sharpener, right? And I was sharpening the knives today because they were blunt, right? And when the knife was getting run through them at first, I could feel that there was friction, right? But then after running the knife through there a couple of more times, then the knives run through there smooth, right? And just literally now, I decided to search up, can you sharpen a sword too much? And it came up with information saying basically, yes, you can sharpen a sword too much. So eventually, Esau, which is the human sword of Yahweh, eventually there's not much more that he can do with his destruction, and he's pretty much reached the peak of his sharpness, the peak of his level of destruction, and the only thing left for him to do is destroy, right? Eventually there's the only thing left for Esau to do is going to be to destroy, man, right? Forget all the gameplay and forget all the playing around. The last thing, only thing left for you to do is what you was made for, which is to be a demon on the earth, cut people down, and then get destroyed, man, right? And once a sword's been sharpened, and if you fight, like even you see that in them samurai movies sometimes, right? The two people are fighting with blades, and eventually, like, they're cutting with the blade, and then what normally happens in the movie some of the time, man, the blade snaps. The one sword hits against the other sword, and the blade snaps, and then the other blade snaps, man. And then what happens after that? The sword that was once sharp and was once very useful, after it's did its job of cutting, right, it becomes useless. And that's what's going to happen to Esau. He was a sword that was sharpened to destroy and get rid of the wicked of Israel, right? Once he's done his job, that's it. Good riddance, man. You're not needed no more, right? And this scripture is really about Esau, man. Verse 10, it is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. That's what Esau's been given all this power and all this technology to make all these things, all these crazy things that you might think don't exist, robots. Like if you watch that movie Megan and Megan 2.0, you might think, oh, that's a movie. If you watch Black Mirror when they got the robot dogs, you might think, oh, that's just in a movie. But trust me, they have things out there that are similar to those things. It might not be exactly the same as they show it in the movie. But if we believe that we're going to have spiritual power, where we're going to be immortal, you're trying to tell me that Yahweh can make some Negroes, Latinos, and Native American men immortal, but he can't make Esau make a robot that's similar to what happens in a movie? Really? You don't believe that? You don't believe that Yahweh, just to make us have some fun with those new bodies that we're going to get, can make Esau still have some of them robots down here on the earth when we show up down here, man? And never mind us fighting against humans. We might fight against AI-powered robots, man, when we come down. We're gonna be pulling out some move. We're gonna like brothers out there like martial arts, like combat sports and all that. We might have to parry a robot's jab when we come back down here, man. We might be boxing and fighting, doing MMA moves, man, on robots when we come down. Now, some people will be like, that's far-fetched. But Hebrew Israelite brothers, they wouldn't think that that's far-fetched. They've probably thought about that as well. We're going to be doing some stuff down here, man. Lord willing, man. Right? Verse 10, it is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth if a sword being sharpened? And you're hearing that sword being sharpened. There ain't nothing funny about the sound of a sword being sharpened, man. There ain't nothing funny about the sound of a knife being sharpened for you to just cut your chicken, for you to cut your vegetables, for you to cut a potato, you know. There ain't nothing funny about that sound. And you have to be careful with how you sharpen it. You don't just sharpen a knife, and it's sharp straight away. It takes time. It has to run through the knife sharpener slowly, right? And it takes time for it to be sharpened. And that's what's happened with Esau. Esau never becomes sharpened to the fullness of having ICBM straight away. As soon as Esau had the Renaissance era, they never just had the ICBM straight away. They never had lasers, ray guns, AKs, flipping aircraft carriers, fighter jets, air helicopter fighter helicopters, right? Invisibility shields and all these things that they've got. By the way, they never had all of these things straight away. It took time. They had musket guns at one point, cannons and all that, right? Then time with the ones where they had to put that stick through there, right? And then one shot come out. They had those, but now they got 1,000 round guns, man. It took time for them to sharpen it off so that they can perfect how to take people's lives. When I remember one time when I was talking to one wicked ass Christian man that tried, like, some Christian or someone that was talking about some like Israel thing or something like that, man, right? And I said to them that the so-called white man's been blessed with the power to take people's lives away. And that Edomite, when he heard me say that, smiled and was proud. He didn't feel ashamed of that. He felt emboldened by that, man. He never felt like, oh man, that's why he's saying that for. He was like, he smiled and got a ego boost off of that, man. But that's something that you really should be ashamed of. Verse 11, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. And that's Esau. When Yahweh designed the earth, you think he didn't know that all these weapons that Esau has made right now could be invented? You think he didn't design the earth so that it had the ability to make these weapons? But Yahweh's got other weapons on the right-hand side, namely the children of Israel, that can counteract those weapons, man. Yahweh Shai cannot be defeated by no Edomite weapon. Does it not say in the scriptures, no weapon that is formed against us shall prosper? That's talking about past, present, and future. No weapon that is formed against us is going to prosper, man. You think Esau ain't heard us say that we're going to get these new bodies and be changed and all that? And then be like, okay, well, I'm going to be waiting for you for when you change. You think he ain't made weapons now for when we're changed? You think he ain't? As dumb as we know that they are, their level of pride makes them think when they hear these things that they know that heavenly things are coming toward us, but their pride still makes them think, yeah, but I'm smart though. I've got a high IQ and I've got a chance. As long as I've got enough time available, I can make something to take you away. That's what they think in their mind. Now we know according to prophecy, when Yahweh Shai shows up, they're going to run and hide. But they're still proud, man. Verse 12, cry and howl, O son of man, for it shall be upon my people. And that's where we get into Jacob's trouble, man. Jacob's trouble is going to happen. And there's a whole bunch of Israelites that don't want to believe anything righteous. And they're going to be getting jacked up, man. And rightly so, because they're wicked. Rightly so, man. Cry and howl, O son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon the fire. Get mad and get serious, man. Start getting serious about and thinking about what some of the crazy things that can happen. And do you want them to happen? When you actually really sit down and think about all the crazy things that can happen, man, if you don't end up on your knees praying to the Yahweh, then something's wrong with you. If you think of all the dark, terrible things that have happened to our people in the past already, and think about them happening to you, imagine them happening to you, and you don't decide to pray to Yahweh so that they don't happen, and decide to pray for your family, right, that they don't happen to them, then there's something wrong with you, man. Yes, you ain't really with the program of how serious the day of the Lord's going to be. It's not going to be no joke. A beautiful woman that's a so-called 10 out of 10 in this world, no one's going to have mercy upon her in that day of the Lord. Whereas right now, them kind of women can get access to anywhere in this world. They can literally go to the most expensive restaurants with no money, not even no pockets to have a purse, have anything in there, have a card in there, no card, no nothing, just their face. Not even no expensive clothes. The clothes could be from Temu, from Shine. No one don't care. They can be on a yacht. But in the days to come, them women are going to be catching hell. So how much more men? How much more people? How much more is a man going to care to give 2 cares less about a man when women that have been catching all kind of privileges now, they ain't going to be having a good time. You understand? 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16, there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. No one ain't going to care what anyone's got to say. in the time to come. Everyone's going to be out for themselves like they really always was anyway. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Meaning, if I can get away with it, I'm going to do it. I don't care if it's supposedly illegal. If I can get away with it, I'm doing it. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You ain't going to be able to just gallivant and float yourself around and have a little walk downtown. Oh, I'm going to go into zone, in London it will be, or I'm going to go into zone 1, central. Or I'm going to go London, Houston, I'm going to go into central. I'm going to go central London. No, you're not. In Birmingham, it will be like, oh, I'm going to go down Brinley. I'm going to go into town. I'm going to go down Brinley Place, right? I'm going to go down to the city centre. No, you're not going to be. You're going to have to stay in whatever quarters you're conformed to, man. There ain't going to be no gallivanting here and gallivanting there. There's going to be stay in your zone. Yeah? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbour, but shall destroy their houses with a sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And when it gets like that on this earth, the people that are going to have the highest portion of the sword are going to be the Edomites. Right? The Israelites are going to defend themselves and whatever's going to happen. The other nations are going to defend themselves in the civil wars and all these things that's going to be going on. But the people that are going to have the highest level of the sword on earth are going to be the Edomites. And when they come with the fullness of the sword on earth, we are going to need Yahushai to return. Because when the fullness of the sword on earth starts to get played, all the people that are having their little nation against nation, people against people, kingdom against kingdom, all those battles are going to be taking place on particular places on the earth. For example, in Babylon the Great. You think there ain't going to be civil war in Babylon the Great? There is. You think there ain't going to be race wars going on in Babylon the Great? There is. You think there ain't going to be different, oh, you voted for this political party, I voted for that political party battles in Babylon the Great? There is. But when them ICBMs get shot off onto Babylon the Great, all those inner battles between each other are going to be cancelled out straight away. All that's going to be cancelled straight away. And everyone that's not of the elect of the nation of Israel is going to immediately cease to exist in 1 hour. You understand? And the only people that are going to still exist that remember America and that can say that they used to be in America are going to be anyone that fled America before it got destroyed and those elected to the nation of Israel. And when it's all said and done, the only people that are going to ever remember America are going to be the elected to the nation of Israel that are going to be turned into immortals and think about, be able to remember now, right? Be able to remember the past of what their grandparents might have told them of history and all the history that they remembered in the past from studies or whatever, and anything that Yahweh might give unto us, right? Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua might give unto us, and then they're going to remember the future as well. And that's a hell of a lot of wisdom, man. To remember now how wicked these Edomites were and all the things that they did to us, and then to remember the future to come. That's a hell of a lot of knowledge, man. That's beautiful to be given something like that. But before we can even think about that and get to that, we have to go through Jacob's trouble. We have to. There ain't no, oh, I don't want to. No, you have to. You have to refuse the MOTB, right? So the MOTB is it going to be offered to you? Yes. Are you allowed to take it? No, you're not. But it's going to be offered to you though. And if you take it, then you're done for. You have to refuse that. Verse 19 again, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. We have to escape it, man. We have to. We have to go through all of this. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. There ain't going to be no joke. There ain't going to be no joking around where people can't eat how they want to eat. Whereas right now, people know what they're going to eat for breakfast today. Well, not breakfast. They know what they're going to eat for their dinner if they haven't ate it already today. Right? They know what they're going to have for their breakfast tomorrow. They know what they're going to have for their lunch tomorrow. They know what they're going to have for their dinner. They've got their whole meal plan set out for the week. Right? And they pretty much like do that. Like you got these bodybuilders. They're planning out their macros and all of that, right? Being able to be the fact that people are even in this society able to be a bodybuilder and yam up all that food, yeah, just so that they can flex their biceps and their triceps in some skinny little pants, right? In some skinny pants with bare oil on themselves and fake tan. right? The fact that people can even do that, and that's even a thing that people can do, shows just how much of a luxury this society has. Just the fact that people can just eat food, train, eat food, train, sleep for 2 hours, train, and just plan out their day of eating food, training, lifting heavy weights, right? Just to look good on camp for like what, a couple of hours when they compete against some other men that have been doing the same thing in some small pants, pretending like their skin dark. Like, that's a luxury. But when all hell breaks loose, people ain't gonna be able to do that. They ain't gonna be no bodybuilding. All them bodybuilders are gonna be losing a whole bunch of muscle, man. Or in order to keep maintaining the same amount of food that they eat, they're gonna have to go upside people's head and steal from people. But eventually, they're gonna fall. Eventually, that crazy nutritional intake is gonna fall upon them, man. When there's a lack of bread, you can't eat like that. And that's why we're blessed that we've actually fasted and stuff like that and went through days of atonement so that we're actually used to not eating. That's why we get told to do intermittent fasting and stuff like that, so that we're not used to just yamming up food all the time. But when mans go to the gym, right, and this ain't everyone, but these heathens in the world and these Pete Jakes in the world, that when it comes to the gym thing, they're planning out everything that they want to eat from day to day. Or I got to make sure I get one gram of protein per pound of body weight. So I'm 250, so I need 250 grams of protein. So I got my 2 chicken breasts here for the breakfast, and then I got my 7 eggs for lunch, and then for the dinner I have a protein shake, and I have a this and a that, and that totals up to this amount of macros, right? And then I make sure I go on a walk, and that, mate, in the time to come, you ain't gonna be able to worry about that. Everyone's gonna be on a fast. Everyone's gonna be on a forced fast, man. And some of you fat women out there, you're gonna go on a diet plan, forced, due to the famines that's gonna be happening, man. All that yamming that you people be doing, man. Stuffing your damn face all the time. Which there ain't nothing wrong with eating, but there's an obesity problem in this world. Verse 20, behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, to Lebanus, to turn themselves one against another, and to repay the things that they have done to them. Does it say anywhere in that what I read? But they've got a chance to refuse? No. They're gonna all be dragged to the battlefield, man. Bring your ass up into this match. Yeah? Oh, you don't want to be in the match? Did I ask you? Oh, I don't want to be in the match and be against Libanus and the south and the rising of the sun. I'm one of the kings of the earth. I don't want to be in the fight. You're in it. The moment you all decided to betray the children of Israel and make our names be cast out, you're in the battle. You ain't got no choice. The moment you all decided that the name of Israel was going to not be no more in remembrance, you was in it from then, and really was in it before that. Verse 21, like as they do this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith Yahweh, you're in it. You're all in the battle, whether you like it or not. You was destroyed the moment that you was destroyed before you was even born. You just didn't know it yet, man. And on that, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.